Welcome to a special edition of Animal Appreciation. This week we are talking about carnivorous plants because it's my account and I can talk about whatever I want. So we're talking about plants this week instead of animals. So carnivorous plants are a bunch of plants that evolved to, instead of getting their nutrients solely from the soil or from the sun, they have evolved to get it from animals, mostly insects, but some larger ones can eat things like small rodents, reptiles, and birds, but mostly, almost entirely, it is insects and other arthropods like spiders. So generally with carnivorous plants, there are two mechanisms by how they trap their prey. A bunch either use sticky, like sap, pollen, nectar, not pollen, sap or nectar, that is very enticing to their prey, and so when the prey comes, they get stuck to it, and then there's also digestive enzymes in there which break down the prey and digest them. The other mechanism is just by trapping them in like a slippery, basically, tube. So the insect goes in because there's like water down there, there's stuff down there, and then they can't fly out because it's too narrow, and they can't climb out because it's too slippery. However, there is like an outlier being like the Venus flytrap, where, I'll talk about that in a second. First off, we gotta talk about my own carnivorous plant. This is my American pitcher plant. I've had it for about 2 years. It is a lot bigger right now and a lot healthier looking. This was just coming out of dormancy for the winter, so it was dormant for a bunch of months and now it's just starting to grow again. It is out on my deck right now and I keep feeding it those stupid invasive elm seed bugs because they're so annoying. I got it about 2 years ago at a plant shop in my town that is, I think, since closed, but yeah, it's fun. It has the second mechanism I talked about, where bugs crawl into the mouth, they fall down, and they can't get back out again. So yeah, you can feed them by just like dropping some bugs in there, and most of the time they will not be able to crawl back out. So this is mine. I want to get another one of these because I think they're super fun, but I just haven't had the opportunity yet. From the name, you can probably guess where these live. The American pitcher plant, it actually lives in Canada, which I was not aware of until recently. Like, they are Canadian. They're found like all across Canada in like bogs and marshes and all that. So lots of people think of carnivorous plants as being mainly tropical, but that's not the case. They are found, lots of them like colder environments, like this one likes up in Canada, which is very neat. This is the Venus flytrap, probably the most well-known type of carnivorous plant, and it is kind of an outlier in bug-eating mechanisms. So it has like these little hairs, or not really hairs, but like things on the inside that are touch-sensitive. So when a bug lands on one of the jaws, it triggers the hairs and the plant closes and digestive enzymes are released, which then digest the bug. So it is it is an active, not hunter, but it has active feeding mechanisms instead of more passive, where the bug just lands and then stuff happens. It actually closes on the bug, and I think that's very cool. Venus flytraps are also a pretty common houseplant to have. Lots of people have these as kind of plants or pets, but they have a very small natural range. I did not know that again until recently, but they're only found in North and South Carolina in the United States. I thought they would be way more widespread, but no, they're only found in those two states naturally. This is a sundew. There's lots of species of sundew. I am hoping to get one of these at some point because I really like them. They're really cool. They have the sticky nectar, so when a bug lands, it gets stuck and then it gets digested, and I think these are super neat. So sundew, along with pretty much all species of carnivorous plant, like a more moist environment. They need a lot of moisture and liquid around them, but these guys have actually a very large area. They're found throughout areas of North, Central, and South America, as well as southern regions of Africa, and also some species are found in like Australia, so they're very widespread around. This is a different type of pitcher plant. These ones are found, again, quite a large range, but they prefer the more tropical areas. So like warmer, wetter, so like South Central America, Mexico, etc. These ones are different from my pitcher plant. My pitcher plant grows up from the ground. These ones kind of hang down and then dip back up for the pitcher part, and that pitcher part tends to fill with water. That's also very interesting because occasionally tree frogs will live in these because it's an easy source. Anyways, tree frogs sometimes live in there because it's very convenient for them and they don't get digested, and they're very cool. I would like to get one of these, I just don't know if I can. I have enough room for them because I think they get pretty big. This is a butterwort, and it also uses the sticky sap stuff to catch bugs, but this one also has a very, very wide range. It's across most of the northern hemisphere, from like Siberia into some European countries, all the way into Canada and North America. So again, it's a big fan of the colder, wet areas instead of tropical wet areas, and I think these are cool. They just look like a little kind of glittery looking succulent. I like these a lot. This is another type of pitcher plant. It is called the California pitcher plant, also known as the cobra lily, and I don't know, I just like these. I think they look very cool, and as you may guess, they live kind of in the southern United States, around like California, that area, and they also look very neat. This is the Biblis, and it's actually a species I wasn't aware of until looking up information for this video. It also has sticky sap, and it has some very nice flowers. It lives in Australia and New Guinea, and it's sometimes called the rainbow plant because of when the rain shines on the sap nectar stuff, it can make it look very nice and rainbow colored, and that's very neat. This is the bladderwort, and it is an aquatic species, so it lives almost entirely in the water and therefore feeds on aquatic insects and stuff, and I think some of the larger ones can eat small fish like minnows. This is another pretty common one. It is very widespread and found throughout most of the United States, as well as I'm pretty sure up into some areas of Canada. They can be found in lakes and ponds, as well as like slow-moving and kind of murky streams and rivers, and these are also very cool. I would like one, but I don't think I can do the proper care for it, unfortunately. This is the Genlisea plant. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I'm not sure. It's also known as the corkscrew plant and is found in areas of Africa, like southern areas, Madagascar, as well as some places in South America. It is more tropical and likes warmer areas, and this is also another one that I haven't heard of before. And finally, this is the Roridula plant. I also don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it looks and kind of, I guess, behaves or is like characterized very similar to the sundew plant. It has like the sticky sap and everything, traps the insects, but this is native to lots of areas in western and southwestern Africa. And again, another species that I wasn't aware of until researching for this video. So yeah, those are a bunch of carnivorous plants. I would like to get my hands on as many of these as possible, but I might have to stick with just the pitcher plants because those are kind of the easy and most available ones. But yeah.